It's been a while since I've done, I think, a video pertaining to solely just the South of the Borderian, or as I call it, the new criminal class out of Chicago. I think I did a live stream talking about them a couple weeks back, but then I kind of halted a little bit, but that don't mean they fell off the radar. And this brings me to this story right here involving this person whose name is Manuel Gomez, who filed a fake kidnapping report so he could have something to post on TikTok. Yes, you heard that correctly. This guy actually filed a fake report claiming that his 10-year-old son was kidnapped so he could have something to put onto TikTok. I don't know what's crazier, the fact that he had the balls to actually do this, or the fact that he is a grown-ass man seeking attention like he's some teenager. And then you put your son at the forefront of it in order to try to make it happen. That is insane. If it was up to me, not only would he get deported and sent back to where he came from, but they need to look into CPS involving his son, if he would actually come up with some kind of elaborate scheme like this. A man faces felony charges for allegedly filing a false police report claiming that his 10-year-old son was kidnapped at the Art Institute because he wanted something to post on TikTok. Chicago police units across the city were told to be on the lookout for the 10-year-old in the man's 2018 Chevy Silverado, which were supposedly missing. Dispatches told officers that a migrant left his son inside the truck for 10 minutes on Monday morning, but the boy in the vehicle were gone when he returned. Dispatchers provided detailed descriptions of the boy and the truck, but it all turned out to be a prank Gomez played to generate material for his TikTok account, according to his arrest report. They call it a prank, but was it really a prank, or was this something that he just planned out to just simply get attention, which of course would also could play into the role of a prank. When Chicago cops first met with Gomez in the 7100 block of South Luella, he identified himself as Joey Sanchez and explained that his 10-year-old had been kidnapped and his truck was stolen from the 111 South Michigan, the report said. But his story started falling apart when officers took him to meet with detectives at Area 3 headquarters at Belmont and Western. He eventually admitted he made the story up for TikTok, the arrest report said. No kidnapping or auto theft had occurred. The CPD report said Gomez lives in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and has a Tulsa area phone number, but court files list a home address in Schiller Park. Either way, he is 19 years old, which would seem to reduce his chances of having a 10-year-old son. Exactly. Because what the hell, if you was 19 years old and you had a 10-year-old son, that means you had a child when you were 9. And that's very, very unlikely. This guy didn't think this out or through it at all before he just decided to come up with this so-called scheme. It is unclear if he is a migrant, but the police report lists Venezuela as his birthplace. Well, that pretty much answers that question. He is charged with felony disorderly conduct by filing a false report and misdemeanor of obstruction of identification. Judge Susanna Ortiz released him from custody on Tuesday afternoon. He shouldn't have been released, quite honestly. Like, you gotta think about it. This dude went out of his way to come up with a scheme to say that his son was kidnapped and his truck was stolen. Then he gave a fake name, and when they looked the person up, the person that they found under the name that he gave lived in a whole nother location and was 19 years old, and they said there's no way this person could have had a 10-year-old child. It's no way. This guy literally put his own child's life at risk by pulling this stunt for TikTok. And people like to say, oh, it's only mainly Gen Z who's doing this stuff right here. I don't know how old this man is. I know he has to be older than 19. But the fact that he went out of his way to do this all so he could get attention and garner attention is insane. And what's also very interesting is that they say he's listed as being from Venezuela. My thing is this: you had time to find a way to get over here, and then you, on top of that, you had enough time to create yourself a TikTok account. It'll only be a matter of time before you start seeing a lot of these Nazis south of the Borderians crossing over here illegally with their phone in hand, tracking their journey through TikTok or Instagram or Snapchat, wherever you can post short videos at. I wouldn't be surprised if it starts to head into that direction. But for him to pull a stunt like this and thought he was going to get away with it, that is insane. They need to send his ass packing right back to Venezuela.